She doesn't know whether to turn around and smile at you all or show all of you her butt. So she's chosen to show you her butt. No, we're just getting stuff to burn. Welcome back, everyone. We're back from our little holiday, and wasn't it restful, Renata?
It was just delightful.
I feel totally rejuvenated.
Hello, Craig.
Hi, Craig. Yeah, so after one of the discs, you know, the charcoal discs, and then we can get that. We can burn shit because we just need to burn some good mojo into the world for the start of 2021.
Where would I be finding the charcoal?
In the silver package that's on that shelf
yes,
there.
To be sure.
There we go. Easy peasy.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Hello,
spells and spirits.
Hello, Mick.
And Jodie. And Roshin. Mick, Penny, Craig, Jodie, Stephanie.
Hey, do you like my t-shirt? Look at this. I got this delivered today. Look at that graveyard ghost gang. Isn't that cool?
On the back, is there something on the back as well?
No,
Oh, I
no.
thought you must have had two shirts you were showing us.
I did have two shirts.
I'm challenged.
The other shirt will be next week.
Can't get into the charcoal.
And this is from Electric Witch Clothing. They're an Aussie firm, an Aussie company up in Queensland.
Go check them out and tell them that the girls from Frightfully Good sent you, Anne and Renata.
And your t-shirt is all the way from America.
Yes, it is.
From the Buckland Museum.
From the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magic. And mine does have a back on it as well, but I just can't turn around right now because I'm holding a smoking disc.
Hi Reese and Ash and Renee and Nicole and Vicky and Rose and Margie and Jess and Amanda and Stephanie.
We're looking through the rectangle window today.
We're looking through Satan's window today.
Lost the oh no, that's right. The wording was actually on the other one, and we've lost our skeleton. He's gone. We'll have to dress him up and put something else on him.
Thank you, Alice, for wishing us both a wonderful, safe year. It's been an interesting start to the year. It
has been a very interesting start to the year, hasn't it? Yes, I actually sort of feel a little rejuvenated and buoyed, and we welcome all of those wonderful new people who found us with the free publicity that we've been getting. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you for all those gorgeous people, oops, I think I'm killing it, who submitted the awards and nominated us for the awards that have come up. Anyway, we won't go on about that.
The thing about it is that this was just a nomination process. So it was about just getting your name out as part of the whole award system. And of course, it was open to everyone to be nominated. And then the owners of the awards and the owners of the Facebook page, which is not us, they will then make the choices sometime in March, I think. Yeah.
We're burning some better business. We're going to do some better business practices. And that is...
Yeah, Jenny, some sage to smudge would be good because there is a lot of weird energy around. That is for sure.
I'm just trying to see what's in this one. The Goloka Better Business. It's a holy smoke, beautiful fragrance. It's known to clear negative energies. Oh, perfect. Connect us with our higher consciousness and spiritual realms and surround us with high vibrations. They are also used to heal and balance and protect our physical and energetic
We look like you're in the fires of hell.
We're struggling with the green screen tonight. It just does not want to work. We don't know what's happening. I had a yellow shirt on and it
I like that.
Pooped itself.
That's actually quite good.
All right, where are we up to? Hi, Carrie. Not a question, but thank you. Hi, Jared. Oh, and I've missed you. I did have you there, and it's all jumped. Where did it go? Jessie. I so wish I had some sage to smudge because I'm in such a weird energy. Definitely not grounded. Just go and stand outside and put your toes into the grass. That's all you need to do. Or stand on the earth and just close your eyes and let all that negativity sink down into the earth, and she will take it away and work with it.
And Jessie, just remember that sometimes people are viewing things from their perspective, not your perspective. So also get back into what your perspective of the world is. and don't let other people put their visions of what is happening over the top of you, because that's what will get you bamboozled when you start going, I don't think I'm understanding all of this, because you're seeing things very, very differently. And that's just the way it is.
And, you know, Renata, we've got a little bit of congratulations to do tonight.
Yeah.
We do. Buttsman and little Dixon.
Isaac and Claire.
They got engaged! Oh, we're so happy for them. They are such a beautiful couple. Oh, my God.
They are sweet.
The dogs will be pleased.
And we do have another video coming out on the 18th, apparently.
Is it January or February?
January, 18th of January.
Or was that our interview that was coming out there? So, Renata's in the paper today just to stir the bottom of the pond again.
Yes, it was the Daily Telegraph, the Newcastle edition. And I was interviewed last week by a lovely journalist who just wanted to know some information about haunted Newcastle, and so I gave her some, and a really nice story came out today, quite large spread, almost 2 pages. So it was very good. So thank you very much to the Daily Telegraph.
And we will also be appearing in a Take 5 magazine, which is coming out.
Oh, that's coming out on the 18th.
That's what I thought. I thought the Buttsman one's coming out in February.
That's coming out on the 18th.
Yes.
All of this.
It's just hard to keep up with it all. I'm sure there are people who are watching very carefully and keeping it up with it for us. All right, now Jess has a good question. Would love to know how to get connected with the sort of community, as I feel like there isn't any.
You're asking the wrong people this week, Jess.
There's a few that don't like us at the moment. That's okay. If we've got big chests, we can take it.
Jeez.
Well, you are connecting with the community now. So, where are you from, Jess? Say where you're from.
Yeah,
you might be surprised. Go, and if there's anyone in your area, organise to have a coffee catch up and have a chat. And I wouldn't suggest going straight out and investigating with people. Sit down and have a coffee chat first to work out whether they match your ideas.
Yeah. Or if they have a Facebook page, follow them for a little while.
Yeah.
Be a stalker and see what they pop up on their Facebook page, to see whether that's the type of person that you want to hang around
Come in
with.
for the wall, Bridget.
And it's a little bit easier to ease into a situation where you are out investigating. The whole idea with investigations is that you are with people who will be protective of you. And
we all look out for each other.
Yeah,
I think that's
and
important.
look out for you if you are out on a site.
Don't want you to see the
that's a
mess
good
behind
question.
the curtain. I just look like I'm going up in flames. Yep. For everything I've said and done, we're going up in flames. This is such a good look.
There would be
I'm loving it.
people who would be quite happy about that at the moment. Let's keep going.
Can you please tell me if I have a future with my I think that's Mr. Wonderful.
Eleonora.
You got to work on it, my love.
Thursday night.
We can give you
I'm
just old-fashioned
sorry.
advice. Go on lots of dates.
Yeah,
Make sure you're treated nicely.
Thursday night, my darling.
Anne has horns and Renata's got the pitchfork. Yep. Yep. All publicity is good publicity unless you've been caught kitty fiddling. That's not good publicity.
So today we actually got our next podcast already, and so that will be out on Thursday. Yeah.
Yes.
Now we've actually got another one.
Oh, is it staying on the 12th? Is it? Oh, the 11th.
No, the one that we recorded today, is that going out on Thursday, or
No.
did we have one?
No, but we do have one going out on Thursday,
Right.
I think.
Okay.
Who knows what it was? I can't remember.
Can't remember.
I just look. Seriously? I look like I'm in flames. What the hell?
Yes, so if you are not already on the True Hauntings podcast Facebook page, because we have thousands of these pages, then jump on and join us for our episodes that come out every Thursday. So it's a podcast, so you don't have to look at our ugly faces. You can just listen to our ugly voices. And we go into some really interesting stories. And we research. We do our research.
Oh, hang on, we've got another one. I got some great news after a bad year. I got engaged. Yay! Congratulations, Amanda.
Well done, Amanda.
I'm just trying to find the ones here that are all right. So, hi, lovelies. Do you think you see more activity if you had sleepovers rather than not? Well, I think the longer you're in a location, the more chance you have of seeing activity.
Yeah.
But it's being in the right place at the right time, or providing the right stimulus to get activity going. So, people who sit back going, nothing's happened yet. You know, that makes it more difficult. You sort of try to work it a little bit, but sometimes silence is golden, and that's when it happens.
And sleepovers are great as long as you don't sleep over.
Yeah, well,
awake.
We wish they would sleep. Our sleepovers, people have stopped sleeping.
And this is where people get into a bit of an argument with this, because the whole idea is...
Hi, Ezra.
You know, do you come prepared and like the question that I found on I was reading an article, and they were saying, well, some people will take you on a group and they will say, now everyone needs to be completely focused and you need to be open to the experience, because if you're not open, if there's one person that's closed down, nothing will happen. And apparently they take that as the card that says, well, if nothing's happened, then someone must have been really closed down, or someone was a skeptic, so therefore nothing's going to happen. So it's like a get out of jail card.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a cop-out.
So you kind of go, look, there's no way to please people when it comes to all of this.
There's just no way to please people, we've discovered. Carrie, the next one we hope is out on Thursday, and what was it? Loftus Hall?
No, we've done Loftus Hall. The Stanley?
It was a long time ago. It was at least 3 weeks ago that we recorded that.
It'll be a surprise for all
We've
of us.
recorded 2 since then. I really can't remember. You sent Connor a summary the other day. Okay. Oh, Kathy, you're closing down 2 parts of your business, my love. No. Well, I hope that focusing it down to what you've got brings you great success. And thank you, Nick. We are loving working with the Buttsman. It's a hoot, and because we're naturally got a sense of humour when we do things, obviously, as you're watching these shows, well, I think we're a good fit for working with the team. But we also know when to stand back and let the stars shine. But we do like to set them up for as challenging an experience as we possibly can. Oh yeah, music's a great way to ground too. Yep, sing along with your favourite songs.
Paviglia Island.
Oh, Pavia.
Paviglia.
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 All right, I'm going to have to jump.
It's a haunted island just out of range of Venice.
Good on you, Michelle.
If you're on... Okay.
Can't do that here. I live in town. That would be, I'd have the police called.
So if you actually stand on Pavia Island, you can actually see Venice from there. And it's out of bounds, but it's got a really, really interesting history. So we'll be talking about that because it's allegedly quite haunted, and you'll understand why it might be when we talk about the history of it.
This is a very good question, Renee.
I'm
going to change balance.
eBay, Renee, for your Ouija board. Some people actually also sell them privately, and I got mine a long time ago from a games store.
Yeah, I did check out the game store not long ago in Charlestown, and they had nothing, no Ouija boards. But online is your best shot. If it's a second-hand Ouija board, I'd just give it a bit of a smudge, or something before you use it, just set your intentions and clear off any energy that may be on there. All my Ouija boards are all second-hand ones, and I ain't been possessed yet, although some people may.
Beg to differ.
Yeah, welcome to the big chest community. I like that. Yeah, look, everyone is stuck with the COVID. Yeah, I do like chucking my. We haven't been able to burn shit for ages, so it's really good to actually do it. Hellfire and brimstone, yeah. If you want to buy any of this sort of stuff, you can get it from Spells and Spirits. There is an online store for that now. She has got the most amazing collection of herbs and things that you can combine. You can actually buy them yourself, look up what the properties of them are, and then do little mixes yourself. It's a lot of fun. I think she's got mixes as well.
Blends would be the word.
Blends.
Blends. Use the right metaphysical terminology.
Oh, fuck off.
What and how much pre-investigation prep do you do before walking into a location, and the importance of it?
Good question.
We just chuck stuff in the car and go. Nick, we've been doing it for a while. As you can tell, we're not 16 anymore. We've been doing it for a while. So the less prepared we are, the better. When we go in to do a private investigation, less is more, because you are also dealing with the people involved that are the owners of the site. And if you roll in with a truck full of gear, they're likely to just open their eyes and go, holy shit, what in the hell's going on? So always go in very gently and very lightly to begin with, even if it is pad, pen and paper, to write stuff down old school type, and look at listening to the people that are telling you the story and get a good sense of what the environment is like before you pull out all of the gadgets and everything and scare these people half to death. We always try and approach it from the point of view of assisting the living as much as the dead.
And assisting the dead. Because if we can solve what their problem is, that's going to solve the problem of the living.
That's true.
But in saying that, there are some locations that you should know the history of your location, so that you know the right things to take or trigger items that you should take to a location. What equipment you think will work well in the location. So if we're going to an orphanage, I would just like to know what the age range of the children were in the location. I don't necessarily want to know the ghost stories, because that will pre-program your brain into expecting a certain type of experience. So there's two schools of thought. There's one where you should research everything. You should get every ghost story. You should write down every person's experience. And this is also part of the parapsychology people. You go to investigate a haunting, so you need to know what the haunting is so you can investigate it. Then there's the other school who said you shouldn't be front-loaded with any information whatsoever. You should just know a bit of basic history, and someone to talk to, and go in and research it yourself, see what you find, investigate it, then go and research and see if there's anything that makes sense. Then you could go in a second time if you had the ability to dig down on the information that you got. It depends also what you want to achieve from the investigation. Are you trying to help someone? Are you trying to help a problem with a haunted location? Or are you going there to have an experience yourself? In that case, you would take whatever floats your boat, so to speak.
But always remember, if you're going in for a private investigation, it is not about you.
Yes, that's very important.
It is about the people that you are dealing with and you are there for. If you are looking at a public investigation where you are part of an investigation of a pub or something, and you've got a group together and you're sort of doing that, then it's kind of a different story. But if it's a private investigation in somebody's home, this is where it gets very, very particular. And you've got to be very careful, because you are going in on their premises, and you have to be very respectful of what you are dealing with, and never ever leave them in a state of panic. Don't leave saying there's a demon in here, we're leaving now, and not to give the people something to do.
In saying that, it also depends on the type of paranormal team you are. Are you the type of paranormal team that is going in to gather proof of a haunting, or are you going in there to assist the person? Because people who are going in to get proof or have an experience of a haunting won't have the tools to actually be able to help a family.
But they shouldn't be going in to help a family if they're going in for an experience.
Yes, I know that, but that's what I'm trying to say, is that pick your teams carefully, and if your goal is to be helping families and haunted places, make sure that you do have some sort of health professional on your team, like a counsellor, even ex-police force. They're quite good because they've
Trained
that, ex-school teachers or school teachers, they don't have to be ex, that sort of thing, so that you've got someone who can actually deal and help with giving them some sort of closure. Oh, Layla, thank you. Been hoarding the podcast to listen to one a night for the week I'm away later this month.
Oh, thank you.
The podcast is called True Hauntings.
True Hauntings podcast. It was a question.
I know, and the whole thing just jumped on me again. So that's how far behind we are.
Mel.
Mel, okay. Sorry, we're really behind because we've just been chatting.
I have been to several medium readings, but my loved ones never come through. Could there be a reason for that? That's hard, Mel. It would depend on so many things. All would probably take about an hour or so to talk about. Look, don't think that it is something about you that is not allowing this communication to come through. Some family members just don't come through. They don't. My parents never came through at all. The only time I've had any connection with my parents since they passed were through dreams. They certainly won't come and kind of appear or whatever. So don't sort of think that it is a given that you call someone in and they're going to come, because they might not.
Maybe they're not the best people to assist her with the questions that she's asking. Even though you want your loved ones to come through, they might not be the best thing for you at the time. So Spirit tends to give you what you need if you're willing to listen. Some people don't like it when they're given some blunt information, as Renata will tell you. This is a good question. How do you distinguish a dust or an orb in photos?
Fuck.
Firstly, using a flash tends to ruin ruin the chance of capturing a true orb, because flash will bounce off dust particles or water particles or insects or anything that may be close to your lens and close to the flash, and will make it orb. So if I put my finger in like really close here, see how I've got, it's now distorted? You would think that's something really nasty there, Nick. So you get a distortion of what the image is. So first off, lose the flash, and you've got to be aware that some insects have luminescent dust powder on them, like moths, and if there is any light, they pick up, and that makes them orb out as well. I think the best way to determine an orb is not through a camera lens at all, but with your own eyes. If you are seeing them with your own eyes, and when I'm saying that, I'm not saying with the flash going off you can see them, because that will still be dust particles. I mean no external light source, and you're sitting there and watching a ball.
Because we could actually show this with a torch very easily. but we won't do that.
Not
We'll do
now.
it. Look it up on. There are lots and lots of really good bits of information with regard to dust and orbs and photography online. There's a bucket load of it. It's already been done 1,000 times.
But there's also a bucket load of people
Yeah,
who
there
are saying that orbs are spirit energies and it's the first stage of manifesting, and that's a spiritual belief. It's not science, and sometimes science and spirituality headbutt. So I've seen people who say, well, how do you know? It might be a spirit that's manifesting. We just can't know for sure, but really you can see the little particles in the air. You know, when you're sitting down and the sunlight's coming through the window and you can see little particles of dust, that's in the air all around us, particularly in my house.
All the time.
Oh, good question. Did you see they have a PC game that is what you do with a spirit box and EMF? No, I haven't seen that.
They're probably apps, the apps that are out there.
Is this the phasmophobia?
Yeah, and there's the necrophonic, and there's 1,000 of them. There's 1,000 of them.
21 Days to Manifesting Magic question. Do you have to have experience with Wicca, etc.?
No.
No.
It's got nothing to do with that. This is the magic bit is the fun bit, because you can conjure, you can create, you can do a whole lot of fun. And the thing with the course is, you will not fail. You do not fail this, because there's nothing to fail. This is about actually experiencing the opportunity to focus for 21 days on being able to set goals for yourself, watch yourself achieve small goals, and understand that you can do this. And I led you through it for 21 days. So, no, it has nothing to do with Wicca, but it will be magical, because we're going to create lots of stuff, like a money jar to begin with. We'll be doing a money jar. So
it's surprising how well that works.
Yeah, little things that make a big difference, Sandra. So by all means, jump on in and be one of our students, one of our participants for 21 days. Starts 12th of January, and we're already prepping.
Thank you,
so
Chris.
Anyone that is on at the moment is already getting little preps. We're preparing ourselves for change. So we don't dive into it and kind of go, oh, I don't normally do this, I can't do this. Now we're already getting into that zone of, yeah, I can do this.
Right, Craig, good question. Is there anything you won't do in an investigation?
Yeah, provoke in a really horrible way. Like really kind of get angry and provoke. It's just useless energy. It really is. It's not going anywhere. And it's quite disturbing. It really disturbs the atmosphere. So really nasty,
a little bit.
horrible provocation is just, yeah.
I rarely provoke.
We kind of provoke in a funny way sometimes,
Yeah,
though.
we take the piss out of them.
So
like we do ourselves all the time. Although if somebody gets hurt, I get my back up and I'll tell them off. I'll get cranky. I'm getting cranky pants on. Yeah, I won't give my husband a blowjob to incite activity.
Apparently, though.
You laugh. I've known somebody who's done it.
Oh, all right, okay.
Don't even ask.
No. Apparently, there are groups in America, so I heard, young ladies, that will take their tops off.
I've done that.
Depending on the circumstance and where you are.
Yeah, no, I've the jail.
Yeah,
Christy's guilty as well.
We've been going there.
We've left our bras on. We've just done a flash.
We've been going there for 5 years. We're friends now.
Yeah, we've got to
friends.
give the boys something to yeah. If we make a promise and say, "Look, come on, if you make it really active tonight, we'll flash our."
Yeah, and Mick's got a good.
And I know that's naughty, but it's my sense of humour. I'm weird.
Mick says, "Don't drink alcohol." Absolutely.
Yes.
No alcohol, no drugs.
Yep. When you be having another night at Wollumbai?
At the moment, there's one a month. So definitely there's one in February. There'll probably be one in March. We'll see how things go as the year progresses and how COVID hits us. So we are always at the moment kind of just 1 week in advance when we're looking, because we just don't know what's going to happen with COVID. So even though we have got all of our tours planned to June, which we did today, we are leaving a lot more gaps than we normally would, because we just don't know what's going to be happening. And
so we can do the wollumbai one because it's mostly outdoors with,
yes.
with some indoor stuff, so
Yes.
it's easier for us to do.
Yeah. And we have very small numbers.
And Maitland Jail is such a big venue as well, whereas Miss Porter's house is difficult because you can only have 8 people.
Yes.
So it's, yeah. Keep an eye on the website. All right. How much credence do you give to the phone program necrophonic, and what makes it different from other phone apps?
Yeah, it's about shit.
I don't know. I'd have to look up what the
I've got it on my phone.
What permissions does it access on your phone?
It uses your everything, camera, everything.
Yeah, but does it access your microphone? That's what I want to know. And does it access your? Let me look it up, Carrie, and I'll get back to you on that one.
The necrophonic has a lot of reverb though, and that's annoying as well. I don't find that it has the range of different voices that even the Portal Plus has. Now, I'll tell you, Carrie, about something that happened on Saturday at Wollumbai with the Portal Plus. And so we had it set up and people were listening through headphones. And
that's our preferred way of
we
using
were asking questions, so they weren't listening. They couldn't hear our questions, but they were listening in. And one lady really got very deep into it. There were about 5 people.
Her eyes were shut, and she was even looking around as if she's talking to someone, and she's doing this sort of thing. It was like, it's quite bizarre.
And we asked about the flowers in the church, and because she mentioned the name Sarah, and we asked, Sarah, did you bring the flowers into the church? And she actually answered yes. And we said, oh, they're very beautiful flowers, Sarah. Where did the flowers come from? And this lady answered, from my garden. We were all sitting there listening.
You hear her and go, oh!
And that was really cool.
So that's what you've got to look for.
Yeah.
Don't be led by what the app is saying. You lead the conversation and make them answer you. Otherwise, you can make it fit and make it sound like it's a story.
Yeah.
But you're just stringing words together.
It's really important that when you're doing all of those apps and doing the spirit box, that you actually lead the questions.
So what makes certain places haunted and others not?
Often high emotion
trauma
that is been embedded in there through things that have happened over a long period of time. Anywhere where there has been a massive amount of death, some of the old sites overseas where there have been huge battles can still hold a lot of residual energy, and that can sometimes come back up, manifest while you are there. So it's not 100% that it's going to happen, but it's a connection also of the living with the dead as well on a particular site. So you may carry your spirit family with you, doesn't matter where you live, and they will be there, and they might appear in 5 different locations because they belong to you. So it's got nothing to do with the spirit of the place.
And it's not also just fear and anger and everything. It's also love.
Oh yeah,
can be another reason why they're still there, because they loved that place. That's where they were the happiest. So it's not just about sadness, but it seems to be about emotion.
Claire, hi from Ireland.
Hey there. No, we won't say top of the morning to you because we know nobody says that.
And Ireland's going through shit at the moment. Yeah.
Although we are loving Earth 2. Has anyone heard of Earth 2?
Mayor J, don't tell them. Shh, it's a secret. I haven't bought everything yet. Shh. Yes, that's the island where all of the plague victims were put.
Yeah, you'll hear all about that on Thursday when it's released. Yeah, so GameStop, geez, we're only up to where do you buy the... Game Shop at East Maitland had them last week. Yeah, you can make your own spirit board as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and buy them. Just make sure it's a nice, it's just jumped. I'm sorry if we've missed some questions. What's this one? I've had some intense experiences, good and bad, all my life, and I've always been freaked. You have woken up with something in me to investigate and try to understand, open up to it. Are there any dangers to be aware of? Things to do before and after or during?
You can over-prepare and therefore shut everything down. You can be too open to everything that might occur as being paranormal when it's not. So just be logical about things, Nick. And if it is odd, then it's odd for a reason and it's standing out to you, and you need to sort of take a deeper look at it. But don't just sort of go in and consider everything being paranormal. But also don't be too blatant about everything and go, well, nothing's paranormal either. It's the more you experience, the more you will be able to logically look at what is going on and pick out what you feel is worthy of your time and effort and what isn't. So Nick, it's actually all about experience. So get out there and yeah, just see how you go. But try and get with teams and tours that have a good reputation, and that, you know, when you ask a question, they can answer it, or they will go and find an answer for you.
And no team should make you feel belittled or ashamed to be there, or be rousing on you or anything like that. They'll just treat you as hopefully as an inquisitive friend.
Yeah.
And hope to help. I'm glad that we've awoken something in you that's sparked that curiosity. I love that. What can a regular person do when visiting a site of known activity in order to sense old souls dead? Get rid of the noisy public for starters. sit with your recorder or whatever you want to take in with you, or your notepad and pen, and just sit and talk to them and see what you're feeling.
Yeah, the best
Emotions.
thing to do sometimes is just to sit and be one with the soul of the site. And I know that sounds woo-woo and real spiritually and wanky, but everything is interconnected on an energetic level. So it is really about, it's like you're the radio station and everything around you is radio waves. And so if you want to tap into something particular, you've got to be quiet enough to switch around the channels so that you can get onto that wavelength and hear or feel or see or experience what is going on. And that often just requires silence and persistence. That's all we need.
Yep. And be aware to sense things that are not hugely physical. Go for more emotions, smells, and just light touch sensations, because generally when you first start becoming aware of it, it's very gentle. It's not big stuff generally.
And as Mick says, grant yourself permission to receive
That's
information. Right. Very good.
Uh,
We're teaching them well.
You guys have got really good questions tonight.
Yeah.
Even though beautiful Apple K Rumble gave us an angry face, I know that would have been a mistake, my love. I have a daughter that's gifted. How can she develop it safely? Meditation. Meditation is the key, right? Even if it's just for 10 minutes, just get her to sit quietly and tune in. I'll let her take over from now.
Yeah, and depending on how old she is,
She's
8. Get her some really lovely little oracle cards that have been created for children. They are beautiful to help spark the imagination and to allow them to visually be able to tell a story. Kids are great at that, and school often shuts that down, and other friends often shut that down by saying, don't be so stupid talking about stupid stuff like that.
So they really need to have a safe safe
Yeah.
place to tell their stories.
Yeah, and
Even if you write them down in a little journal with her or something like that, that would be really cool.
yeah, or play with the oracle cards with her so that she continues to be very visual. And it will also depend on how her gift has come, whether it's all about hearing, seeing, or feeling. So you've got to work out what that is with her, Chantel, and that's what you're focusing on.
How do you deal with a naughty pair of sisters? You talking about us? No. Latest thing is taking sprays of all perfume bottles and anything at all that gets done here that they get up to mischief. I try communicating with them and don't mind them playing, but some things they do is just inconvenient to us. Question is, are they even aware that you're there? If it's some sort of residual thing, they might not even know what they're getting up to.
I get, and I know this is really funny, Jules, but I just got an interesting message there. Can you write a little note where the perfume bottles are, a little note with very nice, neat handwriting, and say, do not touch? And see what happens.
Oh.
Just give that a try. See what happens.
Hi, Daniela. Looking forward to the Mountain Maid tour next weekend?
Weekend
after, isn't
it? Not this
Not
weekend.
This weekend, the weekend
but next
after.
weekend, and I'll be in touch with you, Daniela.
Daniela's coming to help,
Yes.
I believe. So some people are still asking some tarot questions, because it's not tonight. Do you guys have ways to tell what sort of spirit you're dealing with?
Oh, Jess, you're asking so many questions tonight. It's so
Good
cool.
questions.
Yes. That's hard. And again, that's experience.
And that comes down to belief systems as well.
Yeah, it does.
So what do you believe in if you're going into a location? Are you expecting to have elementals present or demonic energies or angel energies, or is it just Fred down the street who's passed away, who's still in the chair having a smoke and he doesn't understand what's happening? So talking to them as if they are a real person is generally how I deal with it, and then I get a sense of their personality from the type of responses we are getting or not getting. Like I got the sense the other night that the one we were dealing with that kept saying shh, shh, was one of the, well, first off, there was a church lady. I got that she was telling us to shush in the church, and that's when we went into the flowers. You know, I said it's the ladies that come in and prepare the church for weddings and things, and that was a good connection. So you use your gut instinct to a certain extent.
And Jess, it also
Hi, Jeff.
It depends on whether you're actually seeing them, feeling them, or hearing them as well. Sometimes it is only through feeling a particular type of energy that you know that the energy is even there, and that is not a lot to go on. Sometimes you just need the help of someone who may have a greater ability to connect, a medium, that can fill in for you. But don't assume. Don't assume you are dealing with something unless you kind of have a little bit more information or are getting responses, like Anne said.
Yay, Lisa! I hope your puppy dogs are doing okay. To Neil, do you both do a meditation or particular prayer, etc., before and after all your spiritual tours, hunts? Again, that is a personal belief of the investigators involved and what sort of system that they like to follow. I do like at the end of the night to say thank you very much for interacting with us tonight. I hope you all go safely back to where you've come from, and you do not have permission to follow me home. That's just a little routine I do.
We do open up and we do close down at the end.
We do open. And occasionally, if we want to have a good night, I will go into the cells and I just talk to them. Like they're standing there listening to us. Say, hey guys, we've got a really great bunch of people coming in tonight. Would absolutely love it if we could, if you could show us what you would like to show us tonight, and have some fun. Call me some names. Love that at the jail. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good questions, guys. Really good questions.
Can an entity be attached from one person to another?
Oh, Tammy, again, what makes an entity want to attach to you? What is their issue? What are they seeking? in their attachment? Are they living through you? Not you in particular, but are they living through someone because the live or living person represents a lifestyle they would have lived? Is it some form of unfinished business? Are they a conduit for the spirit to finish off something? There are so many answers to that, and each thing is a separate thing. Again, you can't give blanket responses to any of these questions because there are just so many different ways that this can happen. Can an entity be attached from one person to another? Look, possibly, probably. Does it happen very often? That's the main question, and the answer to that would be no, I don't think so.
So you don't think they can jump from one person to another?
I've read books where people deal with attachments and try and speak directly to the attachment through hypnosis. So they hypnotize the person that's living and breathing, or the conduit, and they try and get to the attachment themselves. So the attachment is the one that's
then
speaking.
Transfers.
I have heard of the attachments sometimes transferring to the doctor or the hypnotist.
Mm-hmm. But that sounds like Hollywood rare to me. I've seen that storyline on Hollywood.
These things are very rare. And look, people who deal with this all the time, and there are people who have written books about this, and that
not
is their
the
research.
People who have done weekend courses on exorcisms.
They have had interesting experiences, but I think again it all comes down to the level of emotion that you attach to all of these processes. If you are highly emotional and highly open and highly strung, then it's more likely for things to occur on a mental basis because you have shown a sense of weakness. And God knows people love weakness.
Oh, don't they?
love
and once
weakness?
There's blood drawn, don't the pack?
They just go for it like
a pack of dogs. Woohoo! Anyway,
so you have to just practice with being really strong and centered. And if I'm
not calling anyone a dog. I'm just not. So don't even go there.
You've just got to practice being strong and centered, and keep on getting yourself back into that grounded state of you understand what your reality looks like. That's the best way to do it.
I got into the paranormal community by going on ghost tours, and the ghost tour guide said, we've got someone here from a paranormal team tonight, and they're a paranormal team in Newcastle. I went, there's a paranormal team in Newcastle? So I made sure I went up and introduced myself to them, said I'm really interested in this sort of stuff. Is there any chance that maybe I can help you out in some way or other? And that was about 10 years ago. How did you get into the paranormal community?
Well, I started through doing tarot card readings and psychic work and psychic workshops, and then I opened up my own ghost tour group, and I got really stuck into it at that stage.
Yep, it is addictive.
It's a passion job.
Yep.
What's your opinion on Ouija boards? It's just another way of connecting with spirit, just the same as your spirit box, tarot cards, pendulums, anything that is used, scrying, anything that is used to connect with the spirit world.
Find out what your shtick is, and try a few different things out. Keep seeing more and more spirits around me lately, or the more you tap into it, the more you see.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing them but not as often. Change now to getting more clear. Is there a way I can deal with it? Make sure you use your permission. Set your boundaries. Tell them.
Always be in charge. If you feel you are not in charge, step away and give yourself a bit of a rest. We all get mentally fatigued, physically fatigued, and spiritually fatigued. And again, we go back to that whole statement of how strong do you feel? Stephanie, that is the only way of approaching it. The more inner strength you can create for yourself, the more grounded you are in your reality, the more you will be able to deal with anything that comes from the other side.
Best protection. I'm a scaredy cat. Best place suggest. What is your belief? Do you believe in religious things? In that case, take some rosary beads or some holy water. Are you a big believer in crystals? In that case, take some black tourmaline. Are you a big belief in, I don't know what, but whatever your belief is, you have to take something from that, because that is what will give you the belief that you are safe. I've got to the stage now that I don't need to take things with me, because I trust that I'm in a position to look after myself.
And don't prime yourself with watching either ghost adventures and things like that, or spooky movies, because you'll just be too scared even before you start.
Last episode you did with the Buttsman was very vocal. Have you ever asked about life after death and had an answer? When I'm investigating for what I call for fun, I do try to go down that rabbit hole, and you get various answers. But then, are you getting answers from the belief system of the spirit that you're talking to? There was one with a team that I worked with a long time ago that they said, does it hurt to communicate? And on the digital recorder, I think it said, it burns. And on the video, it said, like fire. So it synced up. There was 2 words on there and 2 words on there. So, don't know. But once again, it's choice. They have their choice whether they talk to us or not, which is why sometimes we get no activity whatsoever. Da, 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 da.
There was someone there that was asking about a how-to guide. There's so many out there already.
But they want an Anne and Renata one.
Come on a tour. Oh, Mel!
Have you ever been called in to help someone when they're experiencing haunted happenings, for them to tell you that they really don't want your help to move the spirit on? Sort of, yes. We have been called into lots of haunted happenings, and then when Renata gives them an explanation as to what is happening, they feel more comfortable and say, oh, in that case, we don't feel the need to move it on.
Mm.
So it depends on the situation.
We're not in that practice of moving any spirits on.
No.
We've never really had to.
We just have to help them to the best of the ability that we can, so that hopefully they can sort out whatever the problem is, so they don't feel the need to hang around anymore.
And in regards to that, a couple of weeks ago I told...
fair enough, Jess.
I told you about a place we went out to near Tokal with a family out there. They had a big...
big property?
A big property.
Big house?
Yeah. And we went out there and had a look around and talked to them, and...
The owners weren't worried at all.
I put some things in place.
Yep.
Well, I've had a message from the family.
Oh, yes. What happened?
At the moment, everything's cool.
Well, speaking of which, look what Renata brought me in tonight. Oh, it's green. That's why you can't see it, because I don't know if you can see it there. No. And on the other side, it's red. But that's our travel poppet that she's made up for us. So we've got little suitcases on it, and there's...
Lucky Charms, there's all, a world.
Yeah, horseshoes, and our initials on there.
There's some protection sigils.
Yeah, and scissors to cut away what is not needed anymore, which I really like. So thank you. And it's filled with little things, little special things. Yeah, but don't forget the Australian School of Ghost Hunting. We do run courses there as often as we can. We have a new little place that we've just booked to go and stay at, haven't we?
Yes.
And did you realise that we've booked it for the Monday night before the public holiday on Australia Day? Isn't Australia Day the 26th?
Right. So we're going to be doing our live on Monday night from there.
Yeah, but that will be not till the 25th.
Not till the 25th.
Yeah.
So we've booked our first overnight investigation stay for the year. Yeah. Thank you, Patreons.
Thank you, Patreons, for supporting us.
And we will be doing a live from there. It's in Maitland. And
we won't tell too many.
No. And it's got quite an interesting history. So it should be fun.
I'm very excited.
Jess, you won't bring anything home.
Like
You
sometimes
won't.
people like to put a quartz crystal in each of the corners of their property. If it gives you peace of mind, you can do that. Just a clear quartz. What was this? I had the opposite experience and thought my guide was genuine. They did kick the bucket. Oh, I know where that is. We won't talk about that because we'll get in trouble. Yeah. And what it is that by kicking that bucket, it releases that adrenaline rush and everyone goes, and it lifts the investigation. It actually lifts the energy. And we actually had to do that the other night at wollumbai, because they were all such a beautiful, calm group of people that there wasn't much energy coming off them. And I said to them, guys, we need you to laugh at my sick jokes and to talk and to speak out and lift your energy so that the activity, they've got something to feed from. And it worked.
Yeah, so we're funny for a reason, because laughter and happiness and joy is a high level of energy, and that can really interact with the space really, really well.
Spirit will work with any sort of energy you can give them, so you might as well give them some laughter. Hi, beautiful ladies. Hi, Catherine. Sometimes I feel I don't trust the equipment. Well, yeah. That's why we set up blind experiments so that we take the human element out of it, because the brain loves to give you what you're seeking, so it will look for that and try to give it to you or bend it to fit whatever it is you want. So that's why we use things like blindfolds and headphones to block out the senses to the other humans to try and get direct messages from spirit. But you are right, don't trust the equipment, because there's no definitive piece of equipment that connects to the spirit world. It is all experimental technology, and we all have to realize that. A lot of us put far too much faith in gadgets, and I sell gadgets. I still love them, but you know, you've got to know how they work, and so many people don't.
Nicole, can something attach itself to something benign like an old coffee maker?
If they loved that coffee maker with absolute passion and they never wanted to be from its side and there was some sort of emotional attachment, maybe, but not likely. If you're having trouble with the electrics on there, maybe they're fiddling with the electrical fields, but
or it could just be an old coffee maker.
Could be an old coffee maker. It's time to chuck it.
Yeah.
Jody, I did think about that, because this is stuffed with crystals and herbs, and I'm worried that if they see the herbs, they're going to think there's a baggie in there, and they're going to unpick it. I don't want them to unpick it.
They better not.
I don't want them.
It took me a long time to make this. We might have to leave it at home.
Do we have any tours coming up in Newcastle? Yes, head over to Newcastle Ghost Tours. I've just told Renata that she needs to link all her tours onto the Anne and Renata Frightfully Good page, because that's where you guys go to look for it. And go over to her page.
We will be having an overnighter at Lochinvar House in a few months' time. Again, to Neil, it just so depends on what happens with COVID. And the numbers that we are allowed to take on tours.
And we're looking at the Anzac weekend for a possible Lochinvar House sleepover, and we might be doing it for 2 nights. So there might be one group that comes in on the Saturday night and one group that comes in on the Sunday night, or we might make it a 2-night event. It does just get a little bit expensive when it's 2 nights, but it's 2 nights of absolutely gloriousness at a fantastic venue. And that's the last one that you saw the Butsman on when we sent them down into the cellar. And yes, we go into the same cellar. We're almost out of time. I remember when Renata spoke to me at Maitland Jail about giving energy to the spirits, and it has been a game changer. We had a very noisy house, and the more energy we put into these happenings, the worse it became. You focused on it, yeah. Eventually it went away from noisy to scary. As soon as we saged and stopped giving energy, it got quieter. Yay! That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that story, Belle, because that actually gives other people confidence
Yeah.
to listen to us.
Good job, Belle.
And people might
Yeah,
nominate us for awards. I went there.
The less
Jesus.
frenzy and frenetic stuff is happening in a house, and quiet, the more quiet it is, the more a location will settle. Okay, it's like people feed off negativity and feed off arguments and feed off
drama,
and they do when they're dead as well. They give it to them.
Yeah. Well, it's just clicked over the hour. We've had such a good time tonight.
It's been great.
You guys are freaking amazing. Your questions
Awesome.
have been on point. I hope we've been able to give you some answers. As I say, we don't claim to be the best in Australia or the most knowledgeable or anything, but we are so happy to share what information we have gleaned and gathered over, well, my 10 years experience and her
150.
Yeah, went to the 100. So thank you for all those people who nominated us in those awards that blew up. The awards didn't blow up. People blew up about the awards, which we won't go there. So we appreciate that. But the way to support us, well, firstly, is the stars. Thank you to all those people who have sent stars.
Thank you.
It's those sorts of things that help us go and do more haunted locations where we can do live feeds for you guys.
Yeah.
We can try out new experiments and work on our techniques to hope to become better investigators to serve you guys as well.
I do have a supporters link on Newcastle Ghost Tours if you want to become a supporter. It's only about $5, so $4 something per month.
That's on Newcastle Ghost Tours.
On Newcastle Ghost Tours.
Or if you'd like to become an Anne and Renata Frightfully Good Patreon, head over to the Patreon. I strongly suggest the I know it sounds like we're upselling, but the $10 one is our family. It's $10 American a month. That's not our choice. They've set that. And they are our family, and we go to them for advice. And
hey, gorgeous Joe. Love you.
And welcome to Lorna Gay, who just joined the Grand Pooh Bars. Thank you. So we...
Craig, you're so naughty.
Thank you for going there. You know, it's like we just laugh. We have to laugh because otherwise you would cry. We've lost a few friends, but so be it. If they feel the need to go, they weren't our people. You people are our people. We thank you. Stay wicked, and we'll see you on the dark side. Bye. See you Thursday.